Welcome back, everybody, to No Mod Monday, and today I am going to show you how to hook up a townsperson to do some damage to your player character. So, here, if you remember, we did our No Mod Monday, and we built the Nightmare Before Christmas town, and so I loaded that up. So what we're going to do first is get our, we need a switch, we need a power switch first, or some sort of switch that is going to trigger on off. I always use the power switch, but you feel free to use whatever you would like. I'm also going to use the action enforcer, the friendly wave generator, and hang on, I'm going to need a time delayer, and I'm going to need the dynamic trigger. And then go back up 6 steps, and we need a locator. Set you right here. Oh, go back down 6. Let's get a counter. Not the scoreboard, a counter. Where is the counter? 7 years later. Get the counter and go up 6 again and find the kill switch. 8 months later. All right, so far, I think that's all we're going to use. So what we're going to do is we're going to new logic connection on. We're going to generate wave. All right, so go to your friendly townsperson one, generate wave. Then what we're going to do, new logic connection off. We're going to turn it off. So we want a kill switch here. Defeat wave. Probably not really turn it off, it's defeat wave. All right, so let's go to properties. Oh, there is one more toy we need, but I'll deal with that in a second. Generation delay, take it to 0. This, as far as I know, generation delay is broken on this. It's always been broken. So if you need a delay on the spawn, always use a time delayer. Don't use this built-in generation delay. It is not faithful. You cannot depend on it. Disable generation effects. I always say on, which means off. On is off is on. It's double negative type wording. Basically, they're asking, do you want to disable generation effects? On is yes. Whatever. Team. You can pick whatever team you want, but once you do what I'm going to show you to do, it doesn't matter. So forget about the team unless you really need it to be. So I'm not going to mess with the team because, like I said, it's not going to matter. All right, so go to the dynamic trigger and go to properties. You're going to say target the connected actor. We haven't set that up yet, but that's what we're going to target. Trigger distance, we want 3. Otherwise, this isn't going to work. Once you set that and go out of it, go back in it and make sure it's saved. Okay? Because sometimes the trigger distance doesn't save. But once we know that, we're good. Then we're going to go to the friend spawner. We're going to say new actor connection. Go back over to the dynamic trigger and do that right there. Okay, so now when that spawns in, the trigger is going to be the townsperson. Okay, now what we're going to do is this. New logic connection. When you enter, who player. Now for this you can say player any, but in the long run, when we have everything set up, it's only going to work for really one player because we're going to hook a counter up to it. But if you don't want to hook the counter up to it, you should be fine with just saying player any. And then when you go over to the, what is this called? The action enforcer. All right. So first one, we're going to, you can pick whatever you want, but I'm going to use, first, I'm going to use knockback, and then we can select triggering player. All right, that option isn't available for every toy, but it is for this. And I'm going to go back to the dynamic trigger, new logic connection, exited, player, any. Actually, if you want, I just canceled that. I don't know why I did that. Well, I do know I did that. I was going to cancel this and restart that because you can actually say any, entered, any, and then you can have them actually attack other characters or other things that get caught in their crossfire if that particular character allows for that action, like enemies and so forth, or other townspeople. So I'm going to go back and say knockback again, triggering player, and new logic connection exited player any. Nope, cancel. We want any, not player any. New logic connection exited any. And this time, instead of knockback, we're just going to say trip. Triggering player. Okay. Now, trying to remember what this was for. I don't remember what that was for. So this is going to spawn that. Oh, yes, I do remember now. New logic connection on. Go over here to the time delayer. Start delay. Go to the properties on the delayer and say 0.25. Whoops. Now go back into the properties, make sure it stayed, and it did. New logic connection, delay completed, and go over to the town spawn or the friend spawner and go to generated friend options and say follow. And that's the only way you're going to get a follow off that. Because if you go to properties, right, it's not in there. And if you take a townsperson, follow is like the only option that's not available on a townsperson. You actually have to use some sort of logic to get it set up for some reason. Anyway, so now that's going to cause that character to follow us. And when they come into within distance of 3, they're going to knock me down and back up again. All right, so let's hit it. I forgot to set the thing. All right, so default without setting it is 3 bullseyes. I don't know why that is. You know what's odd? They never gave mounts the ability to follow. All right, I actually have to go back in here and tell it who I want it. Configure wave. Forgot that part. All right, let's use, you can pick whatever you want. And let's say I'm going to use, let's see, is the Metroville police officer in here? He may or may not be. By the way, I've asked this question before and not gotten any answers. Am I the only one with a gold edition that has Sebulba in the middle? Of course, it doesn't work. But am I the only one? Please answer me this question if you have the PC version unmodded, because I'm curious to see if this has something to do with unlockables. Even though he's not available, you have to mod him into the game, but I'm wondering if I'm the only one. Please answer me. I know it's not on the console. I don't even remember what's in there. By the way, Sabine's not available here on the gold edition. You can get Sabine in the toy box through other means, but she's not available through this toy. So I'm not seeing any Metroville people in here. Let's say the Queen. Off with her head. All right, so we just tick the Queen off, and if you have Alice, you could use Alice, but I don't have Alice. Oh, hold on. I missed something. That down there. The locator. Locator connection. Spawn location. Okay, now, Queen's gonna load in down there. All right, and the Queen just set off the, man, AI on these things. You gotta hold their hand. I'm gonna set this somewhere where they can't stand on it, somewhere where I can actually access it. Maybe over here. Hopefully they don't catch up to me before I get off it. Well, there's no way they're gonna get on it unless they jump. They can jump. All right. See, they'll teleport right there. Which sometimes they'll teleport right to where you are. But why am I in this town? Because I have a lot of turns and twists and turns here, right? Now in this instance, maybe I should have made it 4. Because it's going to be hard to catch me. Right there, she caught me.
Careful, friend.
So, she comes into the distance, and as soon as I leave the area, it's like she force pushes me. But you can monkey around with the different effects. Now, now, if you actually do change the teams, you can actually shoot them and eventually get them out of there. And you can also change this to 4. I thought 3 would be enough because I was having fun. Yeah, so I think 3 is pretty safe. 3's safe. You do 4, you'll never beat them. So I think 3's sufficient. Plus, if you want to pick them up, tough.
You're pushing your luck, pal.
But you can't get them out of the way at least, and give you some more running time. All right, so let me turn that off, and now let me get a team thing. So this is one of the reasons why you'd want to have a team toy in the toy box. New logic connection on. Set player 1 to blue team. New logic connection off. I'm just gonna clear it. Clear all players. Go over to the friend spawner. Go to properties and team. Anything but what you are, so orange. Okay. I'm gonna try it again or do it again. I'm blue. Is she gonna teleport or is she just gonna follow? Sometimes I swear they teleport right in front of you. That makes it a little bit more challenging, especially when you're running around corners. I have no idea where she went, so I guess we're safe. Oh, there she is. Yeah, so I've climbed there. See, there's no way she got up by running regular speed.
This won't end well for you.
All done. And you can set that up on a timer, so like every 50 seconds, you know, the evil townsperson will come out and try to attack you. Now, something else you can do is, let me just get into spark mode here, because you notice I put the counter out here, so you can do this. Go to the counter, go to properties, and target count, you want to say 20? I don't know, pick one, right? Visible display, I'm going to leave that on just so you can see what's going on. But normally, after the test, I'd turn it off so you don't see it. Reset on target reach, yeah, why not? Yes. All right, so go back in, make sure that target count is the same. Otherwise, you know, you run the risk of maybe it's on default and then it doesn't. Then it's, you know, it stays at 2 or something like that. Okay, so now what you want to do is go over to the dynamic trigger, new logic connection, entered. Now here's where it becomes only player 1, because any won't work on the counter. So only when player 1's hit, and if you have other players, you're gonna have to set this up the same way for them too. So you need 2 different counters. So we want to go increment. Okay, increment by 1. So every time they hit me, I'm going to get affected twice, but only 1 hit point lost, if you want to consider it a hit point. And when I'm go to the logic on the counter again, new logic connection, we want to go target reached. Now we go over to the kill switch and say defeat player. Which one? Well, in this instance, it's going to be player 1. All right, so let's hide this so nobody accidentally steps on it. So now 20 times I get hit. After 20 times, I'm toast. And then you can go ahead and put in the defeat manager if you want to reset the entire thing. All right, let's go to filtered game maker down 3. And let's see if we can find the defeat manager. I thought it had a sword and a shield. Sword and an axe. Well, excuse me, princess. So I stick that in there, new logic connection. Apparently that's not what I was looking for. Oh, that's the victory tracker. I don't want that. Where's the defeat? Oh, that's, okay, I got it mixed up. All right, so then you can just say, you can put in your penalties here. Revive figure required on, you know, so you need to get another figure. drop all your money, but we don't have currency set up in here. Pretty much you just have to stick that in the toy box and most of the time you're done, right? And so the other thing is, let's see, we'll go new logic connection, target reached. We'll say we can turn this off. So end the entire game, and then we have to start it again. And just to make sure that the counter doesn't go over and break, new logic connection, when this is on, hit reset. Actually, when you hit off, you should reset it too. Either one, well, you should probably still get both results. Same results either way you do it, I should say. So whether we turn that on or off, it's going to reset the counter. Let's see if I'm right. No, not the queen. Now, if you don't want to be able to defeat the queen, then don't use teams, and you won't be able to defeat the queen because she'll technically be on the same team, but she'll still be able to kick the crap out of you. It's funny when they get you into a corner. Oh, that's right. I can. I forgot to hit the button to get up, but I want to show you when we get to 20. Oh, is this, you know, one of the doors, if you have it set up, one of the doors is your salvation, where you go in for safety, right? But you have to find out which door it is. And it's not that one. There's no beacon over the right door. That's a bad game mechanic right there. Revive at checkpoint. All right, so now the game's over. I lost. But anyway, that's how I would set that up. Now, if you want to use a character that is not available in the Toybot or in the Friendly Games character spawner, I would advise you to do this. What I want to do is restart the whole thing over because there's so much stuff going on. I don't want to just replace things and leave something out. So I'm going to restart everything. These can stay because I'm going to need those. So go to... You want this, but all right, stop, freeze, right here. Okay, whoa, hold it, hold the horsey. Don't use the friend generator, all right? I just spent 10-15 minutes going through this and realizing you can't use it. The options are not there to do what you want to do with this, so don't, okay? On with the show. So what do we do now? Well, maybe you didn't know this, but the replayer can save certain logic. So I'm going to go to Game Maker, down 3, and get the replayer. Okay, and what I want to do is bring, let's see, nope, I don't need anything over here. What am I looking for, actually? Let me just hit record, and go to the character that I want, and I'm going to go to Incredibles. Find the police officer. Or maybe I don't want the police officer. Maybe I want the big police officer. So it's either Avengers or Spider-Man. I think it's Spider-Man. Maybe it's Avengers. All right, let's take this police officer, right? So if I say clear, it's going to disappear if I say playback. All right, so now I'm going to hit record again and then go over to options, go properties, and say team orange, behavior. Oh, that's right, follow's not on there, so we can't do anything with that. So let's hit clear again. So I need something to trigger his action. So let me go to Game Maker and get the time delayer. All right, now let me hit play, hit record, and I'm going to say new logic connection delay completed. Follow. All right. Clear. Now we need something to trigger this. So I'm going to use this to trigger both of them. New logic connection on. Playback. New logic connection on. Start delay. Now, I'm going to go properties. Delay time again. I'm going to go 1/4 of a second. Okay, so now, as soon as I hit this switch, I also want to reverse it as well. New logic connection off. Clear. Did that give him enough time? Is he going to follow me? So, in order to check it, he's shooting at me because I'm a different team. Behavior none. So it didn't rig. Okay. Hit clear. Check this out again. That is connected. Let me shut it off. Let me set this. Maybe 0.25 is too quick for this. Let me set this to 2. To give it time to load in. Now he's following me. Okay, so we have to give it enough time. Okay. Now I need him out again. I probably should have done that last. Because now I need to set up the other toys. The dynamic trigger. So I probably should have done the dynamic trigger first. Let's see, where is the action enforcer? Okay. I'm gonna get him to come out. Oh yeah, I'll get him to come out. So I'll just gonna get him to come out, not with this. So this won't trigger the follow. This won't trigger that. Good. So now, I'm gonna hit record so I can get the options on this. Properties, target. Let's see, connected actor, trigger distance. Now this stuff right here, I probably shouldn't have put on the record, but we'll check that out after we hit clear. Trigger distance is 3. And now we need the new actor connection. This we have to have on the recorder. Because he's only available when it's on play. Okay, so now I'm going to hit clear. Let me just go to properties on this, see if it took. It did. Okay, that's good. So that stayed. So now we can do our logic connection with the dynamic trigger. New logic connection, entered, player, any. Go back over here. Knockback, triggering player. New logic connection, exited, any. Trip. Triggering player. Okay, so now when I hit this, he should come in, chase me all around, and if I get caught, he's going to knock me over twice. Because he should be the connected actor. Alright, didn't take. Properties. Alright, let me get him cleared out. Let me go back over here. Oh, you know what happened? The delay time was on the recorder. Alright, so I need to hit record. then change the delay time, which, what did I say? It was 2. Now this does not necessarily have to be on a recorder, that time. But because it is, because I initially did it, I had to change it on there. So when I play it back, it'll stay at 2. Hope that makes sense and I didn't confuse anybody. But if you don't give it too much of a load, it won't break. Now here we're seeing he's not running fast enough. Maybe I need to switch it to 4, or maybe eventually he will catch up. Maybe I'm just so good cutting around these corners. But if you're stuck in a maze, you don't know where to go. You're going to be like, oh no, I just went the wrong way. And once he gets you,
This won't end well for you.
once he gets you, you're pretty much done. Oh yeah, I always forget because it's so cool when I can actually get back up.
Look, we can figure this out.
Because you can get back up when it says prompt, when it prompts you to get back up. I always forget to do that. You know, I've been knocked around in my days, and no prompt ever come over my head to get back up. You know, he's a police officer, right? Well, I'm not going to shoot him. I'm not going to be somebody on camera promoting violence to police officers. But that gives you an example of how to use somebody that's not actually available in the townsperson spawner. Let's take this up a notch. Let's go Game Maker. And actually, I can't remember where it's at. Is it in Game Setup Toys? I'm looking for the prison. The jail. This would be game over, man. Game over, man. So let's say you are caught. Set this up here. I don't know if this is, pretend this is the jail. Now we need a floor, terrain. Oh, that might work. Just building a prison. Dusty crop hopper would be good for the floor. Go to simple toys. All right, actually this. And I'm gonna maybe say it's red brick. I'm just gonna build prison wall, right? Set this back here. Building a jail cell. Go to Game Maker, save point, checkpoint, whatever. Put it down, go to properties, hidden, yes. All right, I'm gonna set that right there for a second. And now let's bring the counter out. All right, set the counter down. Now this time, I'm gonna go to properties. I'm just gonna set it for 5 this time. Go back into it, make sure it's still set for 5. Okay. New logic connection, target reach. Let's go over to that, the checkpoint. What we're going to do is teleport player. I'm just going to say player 1. I'm going to put this down in here like that. Finish up the ceiling here. So I think there's one more thing I need to do. Yeah, I got to do something to tell this to increment. So over here, new logic connection, entered, player 1, over here, increment by 1. Okay, so that should work. And once I hit, let's see, if there's something that I can pretend to do something bad. I think so. Game Maker. Let's see, what do we have that's breakable? All right, let's say I stole this crown. I found it, right? New logic connection, broken or collected. On. Okay, now, because Finn is not a thief. Let's see, who's our thief? We don't have. Did they ever give us a thief? Durr.
Oh, hey there.
Ezra used to be a thief too. All right, so now when I steal this crown, ooh, jewels. The cop's gonna come out and chase me. If I get beat 5 times or hit 5 times, I'll go to jail. Oh. So I'm just going to run around until I get caught.
So that's how it's gonna be, huh?
Oh, 2 more times and I'm in jail.
Whoa. Ooh. Ow.
Game over. I'm in jail. Well, I hope you liked it. That's how you get your character in jail. So, oh, look at the cop is in the window. All right. Well, I'll see you guys in the next episode. Whatever that is. So until next time, remember to keep on building. I'll see you guys next time.